Today's video is mega packed with tips for tie-dye projects that will just help make your projects really stand out. We're going to work on a diamond emblem, and we're going to start to teach you how to make emblems look like they have a radiating or an halo kind of glows around them. We're going to again cover how to get your sleeves to be continuations of your V-type patterns. And we're going to throw in a little extra bonus. We're going to do a little heart on the sleeve action. Come on in and check it out. I am Dyeverse Designs, aka living for the better good of all. It's my passion, my mission in life. So in today's video, we're going to put our emblem here. I have another video on how to fold the long sleeve shirts. This is on the sleeve. We're going to do our heart pattern. Do make sure when you do the heart pattern that the bottom of the heart is toward the bottom of the sleeve, like where your hand would come out of the sleeve. So I usually measure these out about 3 inches down from where the bottom of the collar is, in this case where the seam is at the bottom of the turtleneck itself. I do it about 6 inches or 5.5 inches, mark a halfway point. Take the flat edge of my ruler and place it flat against the line of the shirt, and then I'm going to measure out 2/3 of that distance that I'm showing there from the center point to one end. I want to measure out about 2/3 of that distance. So if I do them 6 inches, the halfway points are 3 inches, so I would go out 2 inches. Now the key in this is to keep these fan folds on both sides of the lines really working. And we're trying to keep the fan folds toward the bottom of your screen, going toward that center midway point of the diamond. Right there. You'll usually get about 4 folds with these with this particular distance on a diamond. Now I'm going to use my index finger. I'm going to pivot the shirt around so that I can continue the line, and you'll see these extra fan folds start to develop. You really need to work these to really make your emblems radiate, to really give them this super halo effect. On the other side, toward the inside, you'll notice it starts to curve those other fan folds that we did. That's good. They're going to make these little loops within loops. So as I do my next fan fold, you can see where it already started to make the first little part of the loop. As I stretch the material out a little more and do my next one, it makes my next loop. As you can see right there. Now you won't get any more loops from this point. You'll get about 2, maybe 3 more fan folds, but you won't get any more loops out of it. Try to keep your other fan folds like toward the top of the screen, toward the rest of the shirt. Try to keep working those on their way out too. It'll just make your job a lot easier later on. A little tidying up. You want to really see, there's our little loops within loops. That's what gives you the great diamond effect on the inside as well. We tie it up with some string. Now here we're going to make our heart on the sleeve. People always say I wear my heart on my sleeve. And as we fan fold around, it should kind of lend itself toward what to do with the sleeves, because you don't always know really what to do with the sleeves on a long sleeve shirt. So we're going to kind of show you how you kind of figure that out. So you want to keep working your fan folds, and you want to radiate them all the way through the length of the shirt, all the way to the outside of the shirt. The way you do radiating fans is the part of the fan that is toward the outside of the shirt has to be taller than the part closer to the emblem itself. And each time I'm pulling with my bottom hand, the left hand, I'm pulling in toward that center emblem, the center of that emblem. That gets to be very, very important. And then I'm just going to continue my fan folds kind of radiating down through the rest of the shirt. Now I'm just banding up the body of the shirt at this point. I stretch it back out because I'm going to, in order to do anything really cool with this, I'm going to need to do a little bit of a scrunch underneath the emblem in between where the turtleneck top neck is and where the just underneath the emblem is. Pan that all together. So now I'm going to just do a scrunch all the way through because it didn't really lend itself to diagonal folds. But what we can do with colors can give it the same effect. By tying it together with the bottom base of the shirt, all that part to the left is the sleeves. And I just banded that up. I got this from Home Depot. It's a underneath door garage sealer. It's supposed to keep water out. They work great for binding this up for when you go to put the ice in. And then I just used a couple pieces of cardboard to fill in the extra little spaces. There's our little heart emblem. We're gonna actually, on each of them, just where the ties are underneath the emblems is where all the magic's gonna happen. So I started, and you'll see that little change in color right there. That was lavender that I put in there, and it's a teal blue is what I used for the emblem, and that's what I'm putting in right. Actually, that's a raspberry right there and a lemon yellow. I used Chinese red for the heart emblem. A little more of that better blue green, bright green. Better blue green and bright green are a great combination together. A little more of the teal blue. A little more of the lavender. A little more of the raspberry, lemon yellow, better blue green. And a little more raspberry to finish out the bottom. We pop a little ice on it. We give it a couple hours. Make sure it went all the way through. Then I rinse it in cold, warm, and then hot water. Wash it in a washing machine on hot water with Synthropol. That's a textile detergent that stops the dye from reacting with the shirt. This way it doesn't bleed anymore for pretty much. Then I put it in a dryer on permanent press, give it an iron, and here we are with our final result. I was pretty well pleased with this. Got some unexpected pleasant results. We also got a very unexpected result. One of my other videos was on pareidolia, which is seeing objects in an inanimate object. And if you look down toward the lower part of the sleeves at the very, very bottom of that better blue-green, it almost looks like there's these little kind of almost facing, they're kind of facing a 45-degree angle. but it looks like this little animal face that has these big ears, like bat ears or fox ears or something. Here's a closer look at it. You can kind of see the two eyes and the snout with the black tip nose and the wild ears. So it's always a cool side effect from tie-dye. So again, here's another shot of both the front view and the side view so you can get a good view of the heart. One of the things I was trying to tell you about the emblems is, in order to get that halo effect, you really have to work those radiating fan folds around that go around where you do that tie. The line has to be really, really straight. You really have to work that corner where you make the turn, where you're going down one line, and you have to make the turn to go down the other line with your fan folds. That pivot point has to be inside and out of it really, really tight. That's to get the emblem itself. Use a very contrasting color just outside of the emblem. In this case, we used lavender on the very, very tip of the emblem. That's what gives this that really, really light look all the way on the inside of the emblem. And then we used a raspberry around that, which gives it that deep, deep glow around it, or a deep warm glow. And then we used a lemon yellow on the outside of that to give it a brightness and a depth that goes even further. And if you notice on the heart sleeve, you can get the same result, whether you go light or dark, as long as it's really strong contrast to the color of the emblem itself. You can give it your emblem some depth, give it some radiance. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And as somebody who's always living for the better good of all, I'm always looking to lift people up, do good for people in whatever way I can. I can tell you there's nothing feels as good as when you do something as good for somebody else. And I can tell you, a lot of people have made me feel really good, so they must be feeling good, because you guys have been awesome with the subscriptions and the views. If you haven't subscribed yet, share that good feeling that we all have for doing good for somebody else. You'll be helping me out to get my videos ranked higher. If I can't get seen, I can't get the word out. It's not for my vanity. It's not to get monetized. I just want to get some good positive stuff out there for people. So help me out. Click that button. I promise you'll feel great you did. Until then, I am Dyeverse Designs, aka living for the better good of all. I hope you are too.